Well, hello, folks. It's Sunday again, in a kind of wet and windy Onston, Shetland today. Great to see so many of you joining us to begin with today. That's fantastic. We're going to have a nice wee show. Hello, Hazel. Hello, Marge Rankin. And please hit that share button if you can. The more the merrier. We love to get as many people on as possible to see what's going on. Here's a wee polka for you this morning to begin with, the patchwork polka, and that'll get us going to a wee swingy start. We are on a different network today again, so if there's any wee blips, we can only apologise for that. But hopefully it'll hold together. Hello, Pat, and hello, Murray Cowie. Good morning, everyone. Not on the Pentland first this time, settled at home with the cats. Ah, well. You know, been away. He's been away in Portugal or something, Murray Cowie. He's been away sunning it up somewhere, I noticed. I suppose if you cook on the Pentland Firth, you have to go get the sun sometimes, Murray. Well done. Right, here's this wee tune. Enjoy. There we go. That was the patchwork polka to get us sewn. Hello, Viola says it's sunny and cool in Boston. Mary is there. Mary Many. Gloria, afternoon, everyone. Sorry I was late in, hanging out the washing. Yes, I know it's Sundays. Oh, aye. My mother would have took the legs of me for putting the washing out on a Sunday, and it's strange, isn't it? All these things have changed. We were just talking about that the other day, and all the customs we used to have, they seem to have disappeared. I don't know if it's the internet or what's going on. Nell sent me a wee message and said she couldn't comment anymore, and I can't understand that at all, because Everybody else is. Have you tried watching it on the Saxa Sessions page, Nell? Because I think, oh no, there she is. Good FD. No chauffeur duties today. He's driven himself. Oh, it's about time. About time that was happening. Here's a wee quick slow air for you. Quick slow air. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Davey's here with me today. Davey Sinton. Eli's away raking somewhere. He's away to see some guy called Capaldi or something. Lewis Capaldi in Birmingham. Lewis Capaldi, he's a great singer, but I don't know if he plays the accordion. With a name like Capaldi, he should. I know his cousin Paul Capaldi, who lives down in Melrose, and he's a Gala who I think he was Melrose, but Paul Capaldi's a very good accordion player. This is a wee tune I was commissioned to write for somebody from over in Fetler, and it's called Julia's Air, and they wanted it kind of on the theme that I could maybe get words written to it someday. So have a wee listen. Davey said he liked it, so here's a wee tune. Thank you very much. Just a wee tune for you. By Julia's Air, it's called. So, there we go. There we are. Nice to see a few new people. Mary said she's joining us from an hour north of Toronto. Nice to see some new names joining us today. It's like in the shin, or shin. Peter, that's Ronnie Kane. Guess who that is? The awesome Andy Kane's dad in Aberdeen. And we've not to mention the football. Yeah. My darling wife Karen says she's blinded by the shoes. See, they're picking on me now. See, that's what's happening. That's what's happening. Great stuff. Brilliant. Keep sharing, please, folks. This is SaxaVord Sessions every Sunday. Davey and me's here. We'll play you a wee mixture of tunes. Here's a wee set of reels. First one is The Bottom of the Punch Bowl. It's a bad place to be. I'm led to believe. Followed by, what's it called again? Always welcome. That's the next tune. And you're always welcome. Great. What's Hazel saying? Good he's recovered. Who's got, somebody's had ailments and Hazel's glad that they've recovered. I'm not sure I missed that, but. Nell Gregg says she had friends who weren't allowed to play tennis on a Sunday. What other things, ladies and gentlemen out there, were you not allowed to do on a Sunday? Let's make that a wee thing today, a wee theme. You couldn't read the paper, that was right. Sunday time, the Sunday Post, you had to put it in the mantelpiece to Monday, didn't you, in the Western Isles? Yeah. Desperate to read Oor Willie and the Bruins, and you couldn't get near it. There we go. Here's this set of tunes. There we go, a wee set of reels. There's some great comments coming in here. Like my wife says, where has she said that? What is it? Somebody said, Vivian says, my shoes blend in with the surrounds. My wife says, shouldn't be allowed to wear these shoes on a Sunday. Marge Rankin says, all the best Highland weddings were on Fridays so that the festivities could continue after midnight, that's right. And up in Shetland, it was very similar. In fact, I think way back in the olden days, the Isles people used to get married on Thursdays here, because they always have 2 nights. And now a wedding in Shetland's 2 nights. So you've got a Friday night, a Saturday night, and then they call Sunday night the clue-up night. And the clue-up night's when they all go back to the hall again, and if there's any drink or anything left, to finish it up. And that's it, all gone. But it's interesting. Gloria says, honestly, we weren't allowed to do anything. It was the rest day. Yeah, and there's some sense in it that you should have a wee time out, isn't there? Hazel says, I'm 76, and when I was in my single figures, my dad's grandmother stayed with us, and Mum wasn't allowed to cook on a Sunday. And there was 3 younger than me at that time. Must have been guy hungry by Monday morning. Oh, you had salad. Davey had salad on a Sunday. There we go. Right, here is another wee video for you today. This is a wee song. We've had a fellow called Clive Jimison playing with us with the band for the last 2 nights. He's very kindly helped us out. And Clive's in a band here called the North Nest Boys, and they do a kind of mixture of old country and a lot of gospel stuff as well. 3-part harmonies, and that Aubrey, his brother, works for the Fisherman's Mission up here. He's the kind of minister, as it were. And they did some great stuff that was great to hear. So Clive came out to help us out today, some singing. And we were in the lounge on Friday night, and I leant over to him and said, remember that song you used to sing years ago about Muckle Osla's flitting for Gulberwick to Was? Now that means large Osla's house flitting, when she moved house for Gulberwick to Was. And it's a kind of comedy song. Some folk might have heard something similar, like Granny Fraser's flitting or something like that. And he says, I've not done that for a while, but I'll give it a try. Well, when you hear this, and the amount of words that's in this, I take my hat off to this gentleman, because it's some memory to remember this. And you'll need a Shetland translation. I dread to think what your Google thing that comes up is going to say here with this one. But here's Clive Jimison with the boys in the band singing Muckle Osla's flitting for Gulberwick, which is in a place in Shetland near Lerwick, up to Was, spelt Walls, and that's up the west side of Shetland. So see how much of this you can make out. Have fun.
Arsenal she was getting on and couldn't abide herself. The family day was started though for somebody hate to yell. She went to hear home health, herself she'd shown her son. And so it was decided they had dogs to she would flood. The men that did the lauding, they must have been expert, for they lauded every article about every smell of cat. They yocked in the tractor and they filled it up with oil, and they hoisted Muckle Osler up to set among her troll. We heard Kiesa Grace, Washington, tables, just prices, iron beds, stripping spats, curtain stars and dresses, pots, pants, kettle stones, stutter and frost, they did Muckle Osler pumping over with the was. Well, they hated was for Scalawa, and they rumbled down the Scord, and up the Tinwell Valley at the Thompson's tractor roared. We a wiggling and a jiggling till the mud began to rock, while Muckle Osler she just sat and made a poor sock. The countryside was bonny, and Osler viewed the scene. The pigs were on raisins and the corn beer and grain, and knowing down a Pokemon, the glove for wide and mass, the day that Muckle Osler felt the Gulberwick to was. We heard spinning his head close to solid snakes and tails, fox and ducks, jukes and ducks, fox and hens and nose, ducks and ducks and ducks and cows, lion, hens and crows, the day that Muckle Osler felt the Gulberwick to was. Now when Eddie drew into the side to let the musket fly, he found the only weak spot when all the rest was dry. While the ditch we guess was shocked, and the birds were sweet and soft, and that was when his tractor got invaded to the shaft. The men began to gather they climb fair run, and they fasten the rocks and caders on the Erties Davy drum. So together with the efforts, both rock and canfy toss, they got her back and put her right, and on the way to was. We heard wheelbells, swingers, smoking mice, young men, swing blades, what's it have to do? Great bins, pudding pins, glitzy junction bars, the dead muckle also perfect over wicked was. Knew the whiteness and the weasel talk, they had the great hurrah when they saw the transportation come hammering round the road. They looked and they got it, and they stood with open jaws. The day that muffle us the flood big over Richter was. When they won the Scottish Baxter, they were up against the snag, but the chassis button cracked and the Lord began to sag. But the Baxter banged the Baxter with their hammers, nails and saws, and Osler finished off her salt before they went to was. We heard gliff boats, sock boats, jumper boats and all, structures, factors to hang upon the wall, rhyme books, books and outlaws, the dead muckle has a filthy over with the was. New muckles the stone fine, she his grandparents three, and she often tells them stories while they sit upon her knee. And many a while and wintry night go flying gales and slash, she tells you about the time she floating over Richter was. We heard yes, it lays, spices, taste, table stairs and prices, iron beds, seven stairs, scatter sauce and dresses, pots, pans, cabins, scans, that's the rush of cars, the dead muffle also fed with all of the west, wheels, spinning wheels, spinning places, summits, legs, and crows, rocks and legs, stupid legs, rocks and legs, nose, ducks and mounts, ducks, skunks, nine heads of grass, the dead muffle also fed with all of the west, windows, windows, smoking back through, young ones, window blinks, what's it hand to do, break bins, pudding bins, places, and laws, the dead muffle also fed with all of the west, Backboards, softboards, jumboards and all, structures, factors, hang up on the wall, rhyme books, books and outlaws, the dead muckle about the go with the was. The day that muckle was the flood big over Richter was.
Well, there you go. That was Clive Jimison there singing that song. It's a great wee song. And you would need to see a whole translation of it probably. But he sung that in the lounge, and there was a couple from Missouri sitting in front of us, so heavens knows what they made of it at all. But they seemed to enjoy the tune, so that was good. It's a bit of fun. Nell said there, Peter was investigating a journey from Unst to Bressa. Didn't think you might be on today. Nah, that's dedication for you, you see. Bressa last night, we finished at 1:45 in the morning. It was a 90th birthday party we were playing at Ray Tulloch's 90th birthday. Happy birthday again, Ray. It was a great wee night over in Bressa, the island near Lerwick. We got the ferry at 1:45, back and then up through mainland this morning. Got the 20 to 7 boat this morning into Yell. Got up to the end of Yell, got the next boat at 7:25 and back into Unst for about, 7:45 or something like that this morning. And here I am. So there you go. Yeah, we do try. So I saw Christine Matheson on earlier on, and I know Christine fair likes a 2/4 march. So here's the Spriggy Ivy, and the second one's called Helen Black of Inverran. Yes, I think that's right. Now, wait a minute, is it right? Helen Black of Inverran, is that the real? Anyway, it's another tune by Jimmy Ritchie, this one. So, a couple of 2/4 marches to have a wee barn dance to. Why not? There we go. That was the Spriggy Ivy and Helen Blackett Inveran by Jimmy Ritchie, the late Jimmy Ritchie. Hello, Stevie Hughes. Stevie's a great piper there. He's joining us today as well. Stevie, yeah, you play the pipe, Stephen, don't you? If not, he rides motorbikes. One or the other. I can't mind. Anyway, there we go. Last night when I was over in Brescia, I took a wee run along to the Brescia Lighthouse and saw this scene, and I thought, I've got a video of that. And then I found a set of tunes off that album that I've never brought out yet, called The Dawning of the Day. And I thought this went quite well with it, even though it's the sun setting. It's the wrong way round. But if I hadn't told you that, you might not have noticed. So enjoy. Here's The Dawning of the Day, the Irish March. Hunter's Hill, which is also an Irish one. And finishing off with an Orkney tune called Iris Nicholson's favourite. I was going to say Sanderson, but it's Nicholson's. Iris Nicholson's favourite. So enjoy a wee Kay Gordon's. Here we go. There we go. That was from Bressa, the first bit of video there, looking over towards Lerwick. And then the other one was on the mainland, looking back towards Lerwick, just behind Tesco's. No advertising. Other supermarkets are available, but no many in Shetland, though. It's Co-op or Tesco's, and that's it. So there we go. Here's a wee set of jigs, starting off with the Stool of Repentance. It's Sunday. I don't ever remember us having a Stool of Repentance in our house, to be honest. No, I don't think we had one of them. That's it. So a wee bit of banjo for the awesome Andy. Here we go. There we go. Super. 3 wee Irish jigs there, which is quite fitting because Vivian says, I played Dawning of the Day plus others when we played with the pipe band in Dublin many years ago. That's right. And St Lawrence, a tool pipe band for Dublin, still can I play that tune as their big theme yet whenever they march into a place, the Dawning of the Day. And hello, Jamie Starr, my old pal, the piper down in Edinburgh, and he's a coach driver. And I was walking along George Street the last time I was down, and who did I meet but Mr. Starr with a busload of tourists. Hopefully he was telling them true stories about Edinburgh and not just making them up. But there we go. That's it. That's the joy of being a tour guide. You can say whatever you want. That was it. So, yeah, that was a wee set of Irish six. Now, here's a wee country one for you this time. I meant to play this last week, and for the observant amongst you, you will notice that I didn't, because I've done a big build-up, said this was Jim Sailstrom singing with Susie Bogus, who was, and Jim, of course, was a great friend of Frank's here and Davies, and used to come over and sing here all the time, played with Dolly Parton for years. Susie, and she played in the band as well. I think she was a backing singer. And then when Dollywood opened, she was the kind of front voice singer that when Dollywood was open. So enjoy this wee song. It's a lovely wee song by with Jim Sailstrom and Susie. And what did I call it? Beneath the Big Sky. Enjoy.
If I could see the way that I rodeo, I'd be at heaven's door with you in my arms. Would you sashay this way? I'd twirl you round and say, you are too beautiful evening beneath the big sky. All of my dreams came true when I found the road to you. Montana, your skies are blue, there's stars in your eyes. If this is the last best place, yours is the only face. You are too beautiful this evening beneath the big sky. Someone said time stands still when you're in love, it will. My heart is more than filled with your mom in my life. So let us celebrate it, all of the love we made it. Here's to the life you gave us beneath the big sky. Someone said time stands still when you're in love, it will. My heart is more than filled with your mom in my life. If you could promenade us, all of the love you gave us, we'd hold all of you beneath the big sky. If we have to dance apart, you're always in my heart. This is the last best place, and yours is the only face. You are too beautiful this evening beneath the big sky. Yodelady, lady, Yodelady-dee, 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 yodelady-hoo, 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 yodelady-dee, yodelady-hoo, yodelady.
There you go. Jim Sailstrom there. Love that wee song. Lovely wee song. I love the wee bit of yodeling at the end there, eh? As Davy says, 'cause he can. That high note at the end was fairly up the Alps. That was a high one. Yeah, it's good. Now, what was somebody asking me there? Yes, Will Melnick. I've not heard from Will for a while. Will was over here on holiday last year, and I met up with him, and he's in Chattanooga. Is that right? Am I saying that right? Chattanooga. And he says that's no far for Dollywood. So there we go. And Davey was telling me there, the big sky, underneath the big sky is Montana. So America has Montana, the big sky, and we've got Old Reekie, Edinburgh. So similar idea. Right. Here's a couple of 3/4 pipe marches for you this time, because I like them. The first one's called Land of My Youth, or some people call it Icy Mull. And the next one's called J.K. Cairns, I think it is. And we might do Castle Dangerous if we've got time. That was Douglas Castle in South Lanarkshire, where my dad worked for many years, all his life nearly, as a gamekeeper for Douglas and Angus Estates for Sir Alec Douglas Hume. Who I think they did. I think they did work on Sundays. But that was lovely, that song by Jim. And a big hello to Pam Sailstrom, if she's listening, and James. Yeah, it'd be good to get in touch again sometime soon. I hope you are all well. Right, here we go. One. There we go. It's a lovely 3 tunes, that. Really melodious tunes, aren't they? And the bagpipe scale has got 9 notes on it. So all these different tunes that you can, different combinations, you can make all these thousands and thousands of tunes. It's amazing. From 9 notes. Vivian in Australia says, we play Icy Mill and Castle Dangerous. They're kid tunes. Nell loves that tune. I'm not sure what one it was. And Janice says, hi, love Castle Dangerous. Just wondering if you've managed to record my 2 tunes yet. No, Janice, I saw your message that you and I got your music. I will at some point. Sorry, I started a new job and everything, and it's been flat out. But I'll get round to it at some point. Janice had 2 tunes composed by Ian Holmes from Dumfries. And these tunes are all in, I think it's the local, is it the library now? Janice will give us right, maybe. And you can actually go on and get them. Right, I've saved a bit of wonderful stuff to the end here. This is Mr. Davy Sinton over here playing the Corrie's Comblins, or now his Comblins. And we were looking for this for ages, for the song Come By the Hills, but this is Davy's arrangement and recording and playing all the instruments on it. And it's a really bonny tune, Come By the Hills. So, Mr. Davy Sinton, here he is. Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That was Come By the Hills, performed and arranged by Mr. Davy Sinton. And I was asking him there, it's Northumbrian pipes it was on, and it was your partner, did you say it? What did you say his name was again, sorry? Derek Lang. playing Northumbrian pipes there. Lovely, lovely, lovely sound. Listen, thank you so much for all your comments coming in, saying you've enjoyed the show today again in the last hour. Remember, we're on every Sunday. This is the SaxaVord Sessions, live from the SaxaVord Spaceport up in Unst in Shetland. Whatever the weather, wherever I've been playing the night before, we'll still try and make it. It's just, I couldn't do it for Fair Isle because I couldn't get home. But we managed nearly everywhere else. But yeah, Janice was saying, thanks, Peter. If you can get Ian's music on the Dumfries and Galloway community page. All Ian's stuff is on there now. So, and that's lovely. Thank you, Christine, saying she enjoyed it. Listen, folks, we'll wait to see what the rest of Sunday brings. I hope you have a nice day, and we will see you next week, hopefully. Please hit share button all the time for us, build this up. It's a great wee community we're getting here every Sunday. Thanks to all the regular folks that join in, and we'll see you next week. Till then, take care. Cheers.